Getting students to practice in a certain way can be challenging sometimes, even if the decision has been made on their own terms. Often, if I'm trying to get a student to practice in a certain way, it can be met with some resistance, and that's usually because they've not yet seen the compounding effects of the practice itself. You can only really know the effects of the compounding once you've actually been through it. So compounding is one of those bizarre things because you can't tell someone to do something a certain way if they've not yet experienced it themselves. You can only practice in the present, you can't practice in the future, but you can practice for the future. The key thing that I talk about all the time is practicing with direction. If you practice without direction, it's like running on a treadmill. You're running, but you're not really running. That was one of the main reasons that I think, and it typically hits you when you're in the intermediate stage, mainly because it's the longest time you spend learning and redeveloping as you bring on new concepts. It's also a time where there's more ups and downs. You get into a sense of that you're not progressing despite all the effort that you're putting into it. So there's lots of things that are going left, right, and centre. So it's really important for there to be someone or something keeping up the momentum for you. When I was at the intermediate stage, there was a few things that I found helpful to do for myself, and they might be helpful for you as well. The first thing is practicing loads of stuff all at once. I don't know about you, but for me, it's just too much information. Key thing that I found was aiming for something in particular and just sticking to that goal. The second thing I found helpful was playing songs that I already know are within my capabilities. Perhaps there might be a little bit of a challenge involved, but it's not so much where I feel it's impossible. The third thing was acknowledging when you get frustrated and stepping away from the kit. I often found myself getting really, really frustrated because I wasn't achieving my goals, but every time you show up is progress. And the fourth thing is exploring ways in which I could practice that would be beneficial for myself. One of the main ways that I found to be useful was keeping a written journal. Having a journal does a few things. First of all, after the session, it helps you get all your thoughts out. Second of all, it helps you to analyze and process what you did and prepare for the next session. And that's it. It's one simple step, but gives you that breathing space in between sessions so you're not constantly having to think about what you're going to do next. But during this time, what I found was missing was that soundboarding that I could get from a teacher, a regular teacher. When I hit a eureka moment, years later, I built a product to fit that gap for between lessons. The app is called Practicai. Some people call it Practical because it looks the same, and it might help with you knowing a bit more about your own practice habits and guiding you to practice more effectively.